Whew. A lot has happened over the last episode. Good God. And welcome. My name is Yuusha Anime. Welcome back to the letter. Now, it's been a while since I last recorded this game. I know it's been a little bit. Had a few rough patches, had a few little problems here and there, but I am now back to record this part of the letter, even though it's very late. So, we're going to just jump straight in because we are now Zachary. And I'm very interested to see what will happen with Zachary because, unfortunately, with the last episode, we did lose someone else, but, you know, live and let die. Well, I didn't want to let her die, but she did. So guys, Yuusha, she has left it up to me whether I'll give her the response she wants or not. A little clever come from her if anyone... Oh no. Oh, about the pills, I remember. I know this is a bit before I actually post the next part, but if I play it off, there's no point. There's no point in me playing it off. Sure, it could be either a good thing or a bad thing. It's probably going to make her feel like maybe I'm not ready to tell her about it. Like why I'm avoiding it. But I'm more curious about Zach now that we've had a bit of a flash into his life. So I'm going to tell the truth. But it's never easy, and because if we suppress it, it's probably going to make it harder for us in the future. Yeah, that was a good choice. Talking about my own problems, that is. It'll never be, not by a long shot. Not when I've let it stay this way for so long. I realised that long ago, when the wounds are still fresh and the dreams are a nightly occurrence. Can't force yourself to get better or move on to better things. It is what's normal now, and I can only cope. The question in her eyes may be unwarranted, born simply out of curiosity and sincere concern for a friend. Exactly. I don't owe her an explanation, in fact, but all of the people I keep close in my life, she's probably one of the very few who perhaps I can trust with this. Yeah, because, well, your relationship with Isabella is really good. And Ashton, like you, both of yours are at the same level. Rebecca's is there. Hannah's just... she's gone. But all of the people I keep close... Yeah. Maybe she won't understand entirely. I can never hope she will. No. Never to the full extent. That alone is expecting too much of her. And giving too much of what I can. However, for all her shortcomings, I know she'll hear me out. And that is all I can ask of her.
My bad. I was kind of hoping you wouldn't have seen me with these.
The pills rattle lightly against the container when I gently set it back to its usual place. Always the small area closest to my laptop near the right hand. So he's right-handed. Within reach whenever, and a quiet reminder of what I shouldn't miss every day.
What? Oh, is it bad? I was just thinking that maybe it's a cold like Becca's.
It's not a cold.
Do you need me to get anything from the store? Soup or something? There's one nearby, right?
She still seems really shaken.
I can run real quick and...
No, nothing of that sort. I'm perfectly healthy right now.
Yeah, it's not food.
It's really difficult to say, but can you promise me you'll listen at least?
What is this about, Zach?
Yeah.
I should have been upfront with you about this a long time ago.
Well then.
Well, Ashton found out without me telling him anything. But you already know how that guy is. Can't hide anything from him.
No, he's very...
If it's something you're having trouble
sharp.
saying, you don't have to force yourself to tell me. I'll forget I ever saw anything and won't ask questions. Promise.
But...
No, I need to get this off my chest eventually. Besides, we're already here.
Yeah.
Might as well finish what I started, yeah?
Yeah.
If you say so.
She takes a seat on the couch, her posture easy and open, and her smile honest. As if this is just a simple talk between two friends on a regular day. It is far from one, but her unreserved air is enough to stamp down the twinge of unease that threatens to come up.
Let's hear it then.
We're gonna learn about Zachary. Oh, feels like yesterday. And she does. So I just got an achievement for that. True to her words, she listens while the story spills out of my mouth. Of my ma and pa, that little old diner across the pond, and what it left in me that day. I can't recall most of it now, but my own account jagged with a few missing details here and there. The passing years have eroded most of my recollection of the whole incident. All except for that one moment in the kitchen when we smelt the food and then they died, right? The ring of the gunshots are as vivid as it sounded that day. Even Ma's hysterical screams at the moment Pa's body hit the floor motionless, his lifeblood flowing out from under him. And the gunman, he was smiling. Whoa. He was smiling when Pa opened the door to welcome him. He was smiling when he put a bullet to Pa's chest and Ma's head. I've heard stories of how the world can be a cruel place for people like us before. Like us? This is why I'm trying to figure out what year it is, because... What do you mean by like us? I never believed until that moment.
Nan and Gran took us right after that. Sis and I flew straight to New Jersey as soon as they heard the news. A few days after, Ma and Pa were laid to rest. And we have a new home a continent away. I didn't even get the chance to take my favorite pillow with me.
The favorite
They
pillow?
said something about the change of environment will be good for us. They had no idea the different kind of ghosts would follow me here.
So, does that mean that... Does that mean that Isabella might have some ghost or some sorts around her? Hence the curse plaguing her in a way? Because we've already seen it for Zack once. He's seen it once, so what else is going to happen with him? I expected questions, mostly those brimming with childlike curiosity, maybe some that are a little too hard to answer. But to her credit, she just sat there, leaned her ears, and looked at me with no expectations or unnecessary judgment in her eyes. There's no need to. She appears wiser and older like this, easier to see the breadwinner in her. Her younger siblings are lucky to have her. When I am done, after everything's been said, she wraps her arms around me. A bit awkward considering the gap in our heights, but it gets her sentiment across. But it's difficult to answer this in kind, if I'm even supposed to reciprocate the gesture given my earlier apprehension. She pulls away shortly with a smile on her face. Not the reaction I braced myself for, but it is obviously better than what I imagined.
Are you not gonna say anything?
Am I supposed to say anything after? Like, apologize or something? I don't think that's very appropriate, but if you want to hear one, I can think of something real quick.
Not really.
Nah.
Other people have something to say after usually. And they're not necessarily nice either.
What do you mean necessarily?
Okay then, I won't. I can't think of something anyway. Sorry, I'm not very good with this.
Nick,
Who
you're not
else knows,
supposed to
by the way?
apologise. You weren't responsible for it.
My older sister, grandparents, and just Ash and you for now. Maybe I think I should tell Rebecca too, but
But not right now?
yeah, not right
Not
now.
right now.
When I'm ready. Like today.
Oh?
I'm sure she'll be willing to hear you out once you do.
Yeah.
I don't doubt she will. I'm more afraid of how she'll react after. One step at a time, yeah?
Yeah, one step at a time, because the more you bottle yourself up, the more you trap yourself. And once you open that little lid and let some of it out, at least a little bit of that pressure, you feel better. Even though they say, like, cutting half, telling somebody about your problems is like taking half it off yourself. It necessarily is, because you're not the only one that knows. And you can feel reassured that somebody knows your trouble. It's more of a reassurance thing when it comes to these sort of things. It's very surprising in a way. I mean, I've had some shit that's happened with me before in my life. And I don't ask for apologies whatsoever. I just say, it's happened. Why are you apologising? There's no need for an apology anyway. And I don't know even how to put it. I mean, it's happened. You can't change it, so why pretend? That's why this is why I like Zachary's character at the second. He's got quite a bit of depth to him. But when he said people like us, I'm having a feeling that because of what happened with his parents, that probably inspired him to go back to the filmmaking part where he made things about slavery. And guessing by Luke's behaviour, with his either close-mindedness about Zachary being black, I'm guessing this is not a not so accepting society in this world. Or maybe it wasn't back a few years ago when he was a kid, hence why the gunman was smiling. this is why I'm trying to find out the year, because it'd make more sense. If it was like, if there was a year or a time to this game. I mean, I know there's a time of year, but not a year. Yeah, it's a time of the year, but not an actual number for the year.
Whew. Surprisingly, it feels good to get that one out of my chest.
Yeah.
I was a little afraid you'd be angrier. I didn't tell you earlier than today.
No, why would
I'm not
she?
angry.
Yeah.
I'm just surprised. You didn't look like it. I wouldn't have suspected. I suppose that's how it often is,
Yeah.
isn't it? We all have our
Inner
what's the word
demons.
Becca uses? Inner demons?
Words, but okay.
This is something personal to you.
Yeah,
I understand why you'd rather have a few people know.
because it feels more comfortable than letting the whole world know.
That too. Well, these past few weeks haven't been easy for you. I didn't want to add that. Not after last night.
Something passes in her face, brief, fleeting, and disappears right before I can recognize what it is.
You okay?
Yep, no worries. I'll be fine.
You don't sound reassured.
last
You don't
night-
sound confident.
Never
Oh,
mind. This isn't a good time.
damn
But
it.
don't lose sleep over this, alright? What's important is you got what you want to say out. And if you need me, I'll be here.
Yeah. I should be relieved. Her words are more than reassuring to my ears. There should be comfort in hearing those alone, in knowing I have another person to rely on if things ever go bad. I somehow find myself worrying for her instead. I'll make another attempt to get the story out of her if I can. Good. But this is a dance, I know all too well. And with her, I doubt forcing her to say something would yield any results. No, it didn't last night. As much as I want to imitate Ash, there's only so much I can ask that won't result in something a little over disastrous. Yeah. Excuse me. Ooh. At best, she'll stop talking to me until a week passes. At worst, I'd rather not risk it. I've never seen her angry. She gets frustrated. We've seen her get frustrated a lot and scared shitless in the first few parts. Outright annoyed, maybe and often directed as Ash, but never furious, yeah. What do they say again about the happiest people when angered? That they're the most dangerous. Besides, it'd be unfair to her after our little chat.
So, food then?
Yeah, let's have some food. She seems relieved at the brisk change of subject, and as if it had been simply waiting for its cue all this time, her stomach rumbles at the mention of food. Rather loudly, as a matter of fact.
Alrighty, Missy. We're going to get some chow now. Better be quick, though. Can't have your stomach starting a revolution on us here.
Don't
Okay,
make
that's
fun of
funny.
me. I'm not that hungry.
Uh-huh.
Maybe a little. I didn't think I'd end up skipping dinner last night.
Well, considering what happened, yeah.
And now we have one starved stomach protesting. Sorry, it'll be nothing fancy, since I'm a little low on stocks. I should probably drop by the grocery store after the meeting this afternoon.
I
Oh.
can make a quick run for you if you want.
I've got enough to put together something nice here. Maybe.
You did try last night, but...
I could always improvise if we're missing an ingredient or two. It ain't like we're going for a Michelin 3-star status here.
Well,
Also,
yeah.
didn't I say you're a guest? Is this a Filipino thing? Or just Rebecca rubbing off on you?
Okay, there we go. That was actually kind of nice. The soft laughter that comes from her doesn't quite reach her eyes. The answer is neither. The answer is neither. Because if she stays idle, she'll remember.
On second thought, I might need a little help slicing up the potatoes while I prep the ham. You up for that?
What? Do you think instant noodles are all I'm about? I'll have you know, I can cook a mean paella with my eyes closed. All my siblings love it.
Then cook a paella.
Sure you can. Come on. I think I know what we'll do with those spare ingredients.
Okay. This is nice. This is nice. I like that. And it's a few days before Hannah dies as well. So let's see, where are we? We are here. Yeah, and we got about like his suffering and like how he told his story. Suffered from a trauma ever since he was a kid. Offer him a comforting hug. Yep. Despite a massive effort to keep the mood light with small chatter, cooking ends up being a mostly quiet affair. Do you know what I really wondered? When we went to choose to see the movie for Rebecca's Worry, I just thought of something. What if it was lower for Zach at this point? Would the choices be the same or would they be different? they'd probably be different because there's a load of achievements for this game. God, despite that massive effort, it ends up being mostly quite a fair. Between us, the consistent clapping of the knife against the board and the muffled noise from the television I left running, words have become surprisingly difficult to string together. Not entirely unusual, we've had moments like this before, but definitely unnerving with how things are now. Well, yeah, you've revealed your trauma, which is quite a big deal. Trauma's not nice to deal with. And she's got a new form of trauma that's still happening that she can't open up to you because she doesn't know how to deal with it. Oh, sorry? I already wish someone else would come knocking at the door. Ah, okay, I thought I did miss something. As pleasant as this is, breaking the ice or keeping a conversation going has never been my forte. That's always been Isabella's or Rebecca's department. So you're mostly quiet unless somebody talks about a topic. Okay, I can understand that. I can understand that. Sometimes Ash's, although most coming from him border on awkward or embarrassing. Speaking of the guy, he never did call back, and I'm willing to bet my entire yearly salary that he fell right back to sleep after that call. Oh, that was a knock at the door, I think. Duh.
Sorry, Bella. Could you...
Yep, I got it. The potatoes are almost ready, by the way. I turned down the heat just in case. You might want to check on them, though. Hold on, I'll be right there.
Who's at the door?
Sheesh, wait up. If you keep rapping at the door like that, you'll break it down.
No, I don't think it's Ash. I think it's Rebecca that's at the door.
Ash?
Oh, good.
Oh, it is
You're
Ash.
awake.
Well, I'm sorry, but you just lost your yearly salary, Zach. Ash had already welcomed himself in when I take my eyes away from the oven. He's never been really keen with the notion of courtesies after he's warmed up to you, this guy. All 13 of my locks he broke can attest to. He's a good fella, though. Maybe he'd had a bit standoffish at first glance. But he's trustworthy. That's what I thought when I first saw him.
Don't you have work today?
I could ask the same of you. Hey, Izzy, man.
You're late. Something came up? You need to drop the Z-Man. It's getting old.
Sorry. I got caught with something at the precinct on the way here. Had to attend to that first before things got out of hand. I'd tell you about it, but you know how it can be with those kinds of things. Later, maybe.
And you're here because...
What? I'm not allowed to say hello?
Yeah, what's wrong with
I
that?
doubt you're here because of that.
Hmm?
And you're not answering my question.
My bad. Forgot to mention that. He called earlier looking for you. Rebecca's worried because you didn't come home last night.
You could have called my cell instead.
You weren't picking up. Anyway, I really hate to cut this
you
little
weren't
get-together
picking up, you were
short,
asleep.
but I need to be somewhere else.
Oh,
Come on,
okay.
Isabella. Let's get you home. I'll drop you off on the way.
Wait, we're going now?
He lightly claps a hand on her arm and begins ushering her out of the apartment. What about the food? Come on, don't waste the food. Throwing a casual wave at me as they pass. Isabella, on the other hand, doesn't appear too fond of the idea. And sure enough, before you can even cross the threshold, she puts a firm foot down, the force alone enough to halt them both and catch the taller man off guard. It would have made for a funny picture. The way Ash almost crashes into her and Isabella giving him an indignant pout over her shoulder. Good gosh. I want to see this. Why isn't this a CG? Surprise and confusion are all in his face all at once. Two things that rarely ever grace it if he can help it. A rare moment even for our small group. If only I have my camera with me. Dang.
What is it?
It's on the table.
Zach cooked something.
If it's just food, I'll get you something on the way back.
But the food! It's Zach's cooking!
Yeah.
Real delicious food that actually tastes like food. At least stay and have a bite. Please? Zach, help me here!
These two. Yeah, come on, Z-Man. Oh, he probably doesn't want me to call him that either. Whenever they are in the same room, sometimes it feels like herding a group of unruly kids instead of talking to two mature adults. One moment they're engaged in a pleasant chit-chat, and the next they're bickering over a minor issue. Frankly, if I didn't know any better and I have an overactive imagination, I'd say there's something going on. Oh, okay. Never mind how utterly impossible that idea is. Well, considering we did kiss Zach in one of the previous episodes, maybe. Or it might be just me. It might just be me reading too much into things, like always. I can already hear Ash's laughter if I so much as suggest such. This, however. Damn. If I go for the feast, I'm probably going to make Ash's relationship go lower for Zach. But we know he's busy and he's got work. So yeah, we may raise maybe it's better if she does go, because Rebecca's also worried about her, and I think she needs to see her. So, I understand we cooked up a feast, but isn't there like a little pot we could put it in for her to take? Oh! I'm gonna go for the option I didn't expect to go for. I'm gonna go with I know you're busy.
It's okay. I know you're busy.
That was worse. Oh. That was worse. After all, handling organised crime cases ain't exactly what one can call an easy job. It's understandable. The lack of time is undeterred focus on his work. This has been a goal for him, I was told long ago. But why did that lower it? Why did that lower it? Come on! Did I choose a bad choice here, or just an unpopular opinion? Because I'm doing it out, I was going for more the concern part. I mean, I know they cooked up a feast, but there's also Rebecca who doesn't know if she's alright. She hasn't seen her, she's worried. And Zach doesn't have a lot of time either. So I thought that was a good choice for Zach, not the opposite. Childhood dream of sorts. Although I admit the disappointment is there. A small part of my person is looking forward to spending the time with that few friends I have. There's something they wouldn't be able to give at the moment. We've each got our own lives to live.
Sorry about this, Zach. I should have come earlier, but you know how things go back there when shit hits the fan. It becomes messy.
It happens sometimes. Now, I do have spare containers with me here, though.
Yeah, okay, we have a spare container.
At least bring some of what we cooked with you.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be able to eat all of it alone anyway. It'd just be a waste.
Yeah, there we go. So why isn't that a good thing? You still get the cooking, so... Oh, damn it. Sorry, I clicked off. I don't get why it's so terrible. I really don't.
There's even enough here for Rebecca.
I don't have to go with him, though. I can stay.
Oh, here we go.
I'll just go home later. Catch a bus or something.
I answer her offer with a small smile of my own. Does she realise that unconsciously, in her own little way, she's taken it upon herself to look after the people surrounding her? Like her own family in place of... No, never in place. But an extension of what she has miles away, yeah.
Nah, it's cool. I need to be off somewhere soon. So, it's a good thing Ash arrived when he did. At least that way you won't be alone.
Yeah. Exactly, she won't be alone. And that's probably the better choice. In the company of another person, she'll be separate. The thing is, I noticed that it was a small decrease. I can live with that. I will not back out of this choice. I can live with that. In the company of another person, she'll be safer. From her thoughts, from her own self.
You insist. And thanks for letting me stay the night.
That's right.
Hey, no problem. Well, you should really call if you want to drop by next time.
Yeah.
I could be out.
I don't plan to make a habit out of it, but I'll keep that in mind.
Okay.
Let me just pack this up for you two, alright? It'll just be a minute.
Oh, so we have enough for two.
Each right, 11 a.m.
Huh? My hand pauses short of pulling one of my many empty food containers off the cupboard. Ash has taken off the post-it note I've recently stick to the refrigerator door. Although from this angle it appears more like the note itself has done him a world of wrong and now he's glaring at it more than reading at it.
Oh yeah, I got that one a few days ago. They wanted magazine features of the new home.
Oh yeah.
Ermin, something. The same one as the
Ermengarde Mansion.
Wow, they sure don't waste any time.
They
I was
have
just
no idea what's
finalizing
gonna
the
happen
papers
to
for final
Hannah at all.
approval last night.
You sure about this?
Yeah, you sure?
Yeah, I've had
oh,
worse.
Yeah.
Also, it pays a lot for one-time work. Can't exactly complain when it's like that.
Well, yeah.
Why?
I guess. He doesn't comment on it further. He simply sticks the note back in its place among the mess of papers and receipts on the fridge, and casually stuffs both his hands on his pockets. So that's why it went down a little. His eyebrows, however, are drawn together in a small frown. Ash may not say anything on it, but I'm quite sure there's something in his mind he simply can't voice out, likely due to present company. He stays wholly silent after, so that's why it went down for him, because it there was a post-it note on the box. I'm guessing we was going to take that as a box or as a reminder of sorts. Maybe that was where he's going today. Was it the day that he was actually going? Let me just have a look. Because if he was going later on... No, we haven't done this. Yeah, it's the 26th, the next day. It's the next day it's happening, okay. Packing for 3 people doesn't take long. And all too soon, I'm leading the 2 of them out the doorway. It's probably better for Zach as well to just think and breathe for a second, because he did tell us something quite heavy. So maybe it's better for him to contemplate as well with him telling Rebecca, even though it won't be just yet. A small paper bag swings in Isabella's hand when she makes her way out, giving me a casual wave as she takes the flight of steps down ahead of her companion. As Ash, however, lags behind.
Go on, you can tell me.
I'm sure you know what you're getting into, but try not to get too involved with that couple.
Oh, Ash.
Relax. I doubt they'll even remember me after this. I'm just a photographer passing by, nothing more.
Oh no. Oh, I just remembered something with Hannah. If what I think Ash is suggesting here that there's danger with the 2, that means Luke could be a threat to Zach. Oh dear.
Oh, it'd be nice to get a regular client. Easy on the pockets, of course.
Yeah.
Find some other one after this. Not them. Never them. Luxborn's big enough.
Whoa, Ash.
Okay, if it'll make you feel better.
Oh, H right, Hannah right. Oh. He doesn't look completely convinced by my answer, but he nods nevertheless and claps a hand on my shoulder on his way out. Wow, okay. That has concerned me. That's a very odd way for him to behave. I've never seen him so forceful about this couple as well. A mild draft sweeps into the room as I close the door behind him, slightly disturbing the papers on the nearby fridge. A low note flutters by my feet, the letters on the surface glaring at me with mute intensity. Excuse me. Ermengarde Mansion, H. Wright, 11 AM for luxury living. After Ashton's warning, they all hold a different meaning now. And it's just after that day now. Oh, we're humming along, okay. And this is after we've seen the ghost for the first time, or the spirit. Ooh. And if I'm not mistaken, this is the day before Hannah was killed. Isn't it? It's the 29th. We're not far from it. The next 2 days rush by in a blur, altogether leaving a collective mess of work suddenly piling up, and new unexpected acquaintances, or friends? Depends how you look at it, really. Either way, I'm stuck developing these photographs at 3 in the morning to reach a deadline set by an overeager art director. Oh, okay. Don't get me wrong, Julius is good, has a vision, and knows what he wants, but damn, he can be too enthusiastic sometimes.
Doesn't matter when you couldn't sleep anyway.
Oh. There's nothing new in it, of course. After years of working as a freelance photographer, it's simply something I have grown used to. Get to know people, build a client base, do good work, and cash in some late hours if need be. Rinse and repeat. It certainly takes a while to get some footing on the field, but it's the kind of thing that pays off in the long run as you keep at it. Okay. Given enough time, you might end up with big names on your clients list. Oh, yep. Names like the Wrights in particular. I never did pay much attention to them, but it's virtually impossible not to hear about them when a local news channel or paper has something to say on their name. Yeah, that can actually get, you would get known through that. A part here and acquisition there. Sometimes it's a new business venture, other times it's the everyday gossip that typically follows people like them. I just remembered, if Ash has given Zach a warning, why then did he go to the party with Rebecca then? Because that's tomorrow, according to this game. Not in a million years did I ever imagine I would end up working for such a high-profile couple. And between that and the fuss that comes with, it leaves me no time to ponder over what happened to Isabella or why Ash is so adamant we keep away from the pair.
They do seem like the good folk, though, despite the whole fame thing.
Sure, there was a rumor running around years ago about him being involved in some business scandal. That actually happened. But just like every gossip blown out of proportion by the media, nothing came of it, and eventually it simply died down. That's because of Hannah's marriage. Much is definitely left to be said for the husband, but I doubt a woman like Miss Wright would pick him if he doesn't have any good points at all. That was true. Miss Wright, Hannah herself though. Yep, she ain't particularly bad by the way the press makes her out to be. Bit too forward for a married woman. But maybe, but not as bad as what's on the tabloids. Not that I ever read those. Ashton would give me a flack for just staring at one. Really? Rubbish, she called them once. Yeah, they pretty much are. Tabloids are absolute crap. I think he's just pissed because they often put the local police in a bad light. No, it's not just that. I just don't like tabloids that much. When you have news and that sorts, no matter what, there's always going to be bias. The only thing that can't be biased is facts. Facts can't be biased because they are true. Hence why they're called facts. And there's no way that they could be biased if they're true. Simple enough. Although with a life as public as the Wrights, no wonder it's the woman who often gets the crappy end of the stick. I can't help but feel sorry for her. She's a real nice person when given a chance. Heck, she might even have ended up friends with Rebecca and Isabella too, if they weren't living worlds apart. Probably. Jesus, what the hell was that? The beep quickly pulls me back before my thoughts travel any further. In one practiced motion, I carefully place the wet print I'm holding on a drying rack. Oh, we got a red room! Oh! And amble over my makeshift dark room. Well, yeah, we have a dark room. Not red room. Red room! Oh, God! No, I didn't mean a red room. I meant a dark room. Oh, God. Do we have a red room? Goodness me. That's a quote. Oh, God. That's just bad. I'm not going to comment any further on that. And amble over my makeshift darkroom to get the last photos from the water bath. Inside the converted broom closet, the film processor lets out another soft clack before going on its standby mode. At its mouth, a lone photograph sits on a tray, barely visible with the lack of light. It's the last one tonight to set Miss Wright requested. I don't usually make this a habit, giving away stuff that is. It's bad for the business, no matter how well-intentioned or generous you are. This exception, however, she was nice enough to ask, after all, and she was a good companion up until the awkward turn little chit-chat has taken. So he doesn't hate her, at least. I didn't think he did. He wanted it to be more professional, and then I chose, of course, the hoarding friggin' option that never worked, but there we go. Oof. Even if she didn't ask, I would have probably given her a few prints just for the hell of it. Now that I think about it, next is actually going to be Marianne. And what's going to happen with Marianne, because she had a really strong relationship with Hannah, and she's basically dead now. Even if she didn't ask, I would have probably given her a few prints just for the hell of it. Miss Wright ain't such a bad subject matter to begin with. And maybe this is just me, but for someone who has everything at the palm of her hands, all the money in the world, a loving husband, and plenty of big mansions to call home, she's lonely. He knows. She doesn't just appear like it. It shows in the tone of her voice, how she moves, and most certainly in her smiles. Always hidden behind the glamour for the world to never see. Sometimes for people like her, small things like these helps. A little reminder that the world can be kind too. Water drips from the paper as I blindly pick it up and gently lay it on another tray holding a decent amount of photo flow. So we got one of those pictograph sort of photos of sorts. Just one that has a darkroom to help process the pictures. A few seconds under the solution is all it needs before it's ready for drying. No go rushing this last one, even if my body's already screaming for some decent snooze. My hand fumbles for the light switch, moving towards it with familiarity while I fish for a squeegee among the mess of tools on the drawer with the other. The bulb flickers twice before it glows, settles and casts a soft light in a tiny space. We're going to get jump scared. I feel like now we're going to get scared. When I glance back down, squeegee in hand, ready to finish the process and can finally call it a night.
What on earth?
Whoa! Oh, that's creepy. Hello? Her head is gone. No, her head isn't gone. Blurred and distorted beyond recognition, rather. That was when she was on the staircase. The area completely smudged over, leaving no trace of the same sweet smile the good woman carried in all the previous prints.
Damn, that was too careless.
A common mistake to make, of course, if one is negligent enough to pick a newly processed photo in the dark, like I apparently did. It has happened before, loads of times actually. I still can't help but feel a small pang of frustration over one mistake a newbie would likely make. Hey, mistakes happen. You can't help. This isn't a mistake, though. I know it's not. Because that looks like blood near her eye. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it looks like blood near her eye. Like, literally. Right around there. It's like a cut or something. What a sigh. With a sigh, I reach out for the Switch again, intended to develop a new one from scratch.
It could pass off for one of those supernatural pictures they show on TV, though.
It is a supernatural picture. A memory clicks. One cursory thought in a sea of many, and a short yet distinct second from the day before. A glimpse is all I got, but it's enough to burn the image in my mind, the ghost. There was a shadow. That's what he saw. Oh no, a woman in her 20s or early 30s, maybe. But with how far gone her flesh alone has become, it's not possible to tell at first glance. The skin itself has already taken a sticky pale colour, rotted in most parts, blood dripping from every open gash and lesion on her body. Bony hands grip Miss Wright's neck like a noose, staining the skin underneath with a vibrant shade of scarlet. Was there nothing... Now that I think about it, was there nothing we could do to save her if we see her? Like this, anyway. Nothing but malice fills the gleam in her eyes. Yeah, she looks like she's enjoying it.
Zachary?
Not for me. For Miss Wright.
Zach, is something the matter?
Oh no, there's nothing wrong. I just remembered something I saw. Let's get back to the pictures. Can you move a bit more to the left, yeah?
Okay. That was creepy. I wondered how it looked from Zachary, but that was just... Ooh. And to see it so vividly through the camera. Oh, yeah, that's a cool little photo. Ooh. Ooh. The memory alone is enough to make me retch. I brushed it off then. A trick of the eye, I told myself, or a product of the heat. The weather has been unexpectedly warm recently, so it shouldn't be too surprising for such things to happen. But yeah, like, you can't just say, oh, I've been in the desert for so long, so I should expect a mirage to pop up any second. You can't just label it off like that. And, well, blaming this on the usual fatigue, an overworked brain, the weather, or an amateur error on my part is far more convenient. Maybe he just doesn't want to think about it. It makes a whole lot of sense than what the small voice in my head whispers. The same tiny voice that only makes itself known when something's afoul. The same one that lent a curious ear to Isabella's worries about the mansion. Right. And with each second I spend staring at this photograph, the murmurs in my head only grow louder against my ears. Someone has to know. Oh. That ambience, good God. Oh. Right, someone has to know. Right. Why would I show it to Hannah? Why would I show it to Hannah? That would mean I'll just interlink her before she gets killed the next day. So... Oh! But if we show the photo to Ash, he'll probably throw it away as mumbo jumbo. And I've been told not to get myself too involved with the rights as well. Because they're dangerous. And if I go there, and I am right about my theory with Luke being a problem for Zachary, then if we go back, like the next day, the 28th, then would that mean that Zach would be in imminent danger from when Luke went out in the morning? Ooh, I'm going to show it to Ash. Ash will give me a flack for this, he will. I could already hear what he's going to say about this the moment I bring it up. Hell, before he even sees anything, I'll wager. The guy's a skeptic through and through, and it will take more than my account for him to even consider this. But when you've been there, seen something enough to raise the hairs at the back of your neck and leave you wanting to flee or hide, what he thinks is the least of my concerns. Okay. I am no hero. That's entirely best reserved for someone else. Still, if this'll help him change his mind, it's a worthy try. So wait, you believe in the occult, Zach? Isabella's gone and done the same thing, didn't she? So wait, we've just done 2 different story branches right now. Good gosh. Outside, the sun is yet to rise. I've still got a few hours before dawn. Good enough time to mull over how I'll go about this with him. I need a space to go check if I'll get the same result if I redo the process again. The film processor hums back to life at my touch. The light switch gives out a soft click and darkness embraces the small closet again.
Somehow those urban legends don't sound so silly now.
Whoa. I'm gonna end this part here. That was a good, creepy part. Oh. Ooh, I like it. I like it a lot. Oh, I'd like to return back to this because I'm really curious now what's going to happen in this part. Because we're going to ask Ash himself what we think about this. And we know he's a skeptic. We know from the very beginning because of his interaction with Isabella. So the fact that Isabella's mentioned something with that mansion, and I've taken a picture of that mansion, and not only the picture's weird, but also the fact that we saw it. And Zachary's not the type of person to just ignore stuff. Or just like believe the stuff, I guess is a better way to put it. So I'm going to end this part here. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. Leave a like if you did. Subscribe if you want any more from me. And I shall see you in the next video. Sunshine, guys. I will indeed see you next time. Whew. It's going to get a lot more interesting soon.